I love to chat and have conversations with people, and the one theme that comes up is whatever I'm talking about, I always find a story, and people are always pointing this out to me. I'm Keef, and the idea of this channel is that I'm going to tell these stories bit by bit as we go along. So basically, when I'm having a chat with someone, I'll pick up on something and I'll start talking about something else, something perhaps related to it, but something maybe I've done, maybe I've experienced, I've seen in a film, I've read in a book, read in a paper, but I'll always talk about something in that conversation. And someone once said to me, there's always a story, always a story. You can never hold a conversation without going off on a story. And another thing is that people are saying to me, why don't you write a book? Write all these things down, these things you've done, because I've pulled all sorts of stunts, I've messed about, I've got a long-suffering wife who just like, when people say, what do you do with him? And she just says, I let him get on with it. We've been married well over 40 years now, so she's got used to it. And the thing is that I enjoy myself. I like to have a laugh, and when I'm having a conversation with people, hopefully we're having a laugh as well. And I don't take things too seriously, at least I hope not. And I'm going to try and do this channel, no fancy editing, anything like that. I'm just going to be talking and relating stories that I've come up with over the years. Now, some of them are going to be like weird things, and also I would check the facts on them, because although, unless it's something that I'm talking about in my experience, I don't make that up. If it's something I've done, then I've actually done it. I don't sort of like make things up like that. But there are certain facts that may come up that if you're in the pub quiz next week, don't get into a fight with a quiz master saying that you saw it on the Keef Woodhouse channel on YouTube and that must be true. I'm a bit like Wikipedia. You have to check certain facts. There was one particular football question that I used to ask. It was one of those trick questions, and I always bet a pint on it. You know, you'd be in the pub, you bet a pint, right? Bet you can't tell me the answer to this. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because it turns out it was completely wrong. One day, someone who knew what they were talking about questioned me on it. So I started telling this story back in the 80s, and I've been sort of like winning pints on it for absolutely years. So anyway, someone who knew a bit more about football questioned me on this, and we Googled it, and it was completely wrong. The answer to the question was completely wrong. And so I would say, if I do come up with something, you know, any fact or figure or something like that, always check it before you have an argument with the quizmaster down the pub. But as I say, there's going to be no fancy editing, no nothing to sell. It's just going to be a channel about things that I've talked about in the past. Someone once said to me, why don't you write a book? You've got all these things, write them all down, write a book. But that seems like hard work. This to me is a lot easier because I'm just chatting. So as I say, I hope you enjoy the channel, and if you do, please subscribe.